Hi, my name is Eric Way. I work for KPMG in the Workday Healthcare practice. We're doing a podcast series to highlight our expertise and the individuals within our practice and outside of our practice who help to drive our excellence and optimize our clients to a high level. And today I have the pleasure of having Mr. Wallace here, Mr. Rick Wallace, and he's head of our change management and touches a lot of different areas, not just Workday. But of course, that's what we're here to talk about. I want to make sure that, we get a great understanding of what you do in the day-to-day and how your expertise brings great value to the team. So thanks for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, it's great to have you, man. So talk to me. What do you do on the day-to-day? What's your role? What do you do?
So from a change management perspective, what we're responsible for is on any major transformation or organizational change is making sure that the individuals with the organization understand the change, that they adapt to the change, that they change their behaviors and mindsets, and that they're ready to take on whether it's a transformation or implementation of a system, that they understand what they need to do in the future state.
Right. So, I mean, and in that market, like, what does the market look like in change management? Like, what is the appetite from the client side for change management?
So historically, change management hasn't been one of those things that organizations recognize that they needed. Historically, they kind of took it that, we can do this with our senior VPs, our VPs. Over the years now, organizations are realizing that change management is critical. It's critical to the success of the program. Historically, if you look at a lot of statistics, they'll say up to 70% of organizations that don't have effective change management, that the initiatives have failed.
Really?
So it's a huge number.
It's important.
And so it's kind of a linchpin to the success of a transformation, implementation.
So to your point, you say years ago that wasn't a huge need. People want to do things internally, it saves money, et cetera. Right. But the complexity of these systems has also changed. These Workday, the systems that we're implementing and are being implemented across a lot of different clients are complex. They're not something that you can just, send it in and then everything's great. Everybody's just like, oh yeah, I know how to do this. But it's different, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm. So in your legacy systems, we talked about it in episode 2, I would say, the legacy systems where, you can pop them in, not a lot changes in 10, 15 years. Now the technology is actually changing every 6 months, not drastically, but you have new updates, you have different things that happen. So how does that affect the sustainability of what you're doing?
So if you look at the legacy systems, most people are resistant to change. You're resistant to change, I'm resistant to change. It's the human nature. And it's no different when we get with our clients. So even if a legacy system is slower, more confusing, more challenging, a lot of times the resources have created shortcuts. They've created Band-Aids to get through it. So it works for them. So when we come with a new system, a new Workday system, they're looking at it as this is change. I don't like change. Even if we can show and prove that this is better, more efficient, easier, we're still going to get the resistance. So what we have to kind of work through is some of those barriers. And one of the things that we do is we don't force change on to employees at the last minute, at the 11th hour. We kind of take more of a breadcrumb approach where we start off early on. So we make sure that change is embedded in the system from day one. From day one. So we start off making sure that the employee understands the mission, that they understand the vision, that they understand the case for change, which is basically saying, why are we making this change? Right? What do we need to do differently? What happens if we don't change? And we take the employee through this whole journey. So we'll take them through a change journey where we're slowly indoctrinating them into what's going to be the impact of them. How is this going to change my day-to-day role, my day-to-day activity?
Right.
And so hopefully by the time we get to the time to go live, that they totally understand the reason, understand what's going to change, how it's going to change, what they need to do to be successful, and that we've embedded them and equipped them with all of the tools that they need to be successful from day one.